true. Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Welcome back to the Booga Box live stream, Thursday night edition. Thursday night, large project night. So, well, we have been working on this quite a few other nights too, but we're getting into the last, I think I'm at 10 and a half lines to go here. We're on line 191. We got 202 to go. We're finishing up this one, so. Alright, let's get her going here. Hope everybody's having a great week. Thank you all for joining us. If you're joining us live or if you're watching this later, I do thank you. Don't forget to give the likes, the thumbs ups, the hearts, all of those good little thingies there. They all help. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So don't forget to go over there and check those out. But yeah, we're closing in here on getting this finished up now. Two here. Working on the yard markers. We'll get for sure this line finished. We'll come back down, and then after we come back down, after that it's all sideline. So it'll be getting close and getting done. I do plan on working on this tomorrow. I did plan on doing some laser stuff, but I'm just doing laser stuff that I have to do. I'm not going to do any more testing or anything tomorrow, so I think I got maybe an hour, 2 hours max tomorrow. Laser work, as it currently stands, unless something happens tonight or and tomorrow, but that'll push me to get this thing going and get it done. I want to get some pictures of it going Saturday. I want to kind of get some pictures, get the video done. Well, the video might take a little bit longer, but I'm hoping to post this weekend. And then next Thursday we'll go over it one more time real quick next Thursday before we move on to the final or the next project. We'll kind of do a review of this, probably show the video if I get the video done. If we do any chainmail work, we'll work on the jelly cube. Give it a little bit more time. I haven't done any on it in a while. It has become my thing to work on at events, but outside events I haven't had much time for it lately, so definitely running low on my rings. Like I got one bag of green left, which I probably need to open. Maybe, we'll see, because I guess my last two lines will be full green, so I probably will actually have to open it. And I know I'll have another bag of white at least to open. Frost, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a good week. Like I said, it's Thursday. Around here it's been a hot, muggy one, I'm sure. Got a cat hair in my mouth. I had to coax the boy to come back in. Before the stream, he was like, I want to sit out here in the heat. And I'm like, no, you don't. Come back in. Yeah, got him all enticed, got him up on my chair. Come over here, sit down. It's like, good. I got 3 minutes till stream starts. I look over at him. He looks over at me and he jumps out of my chair, wanders off. I'm not even sure where he's at right now. I don't think he's going to try to open the door, but it's been hot here. Ugly hot. I'm not even sure what the humidity is, but it's well up above 80, if not higher. I'm sure it is, probably higher. I'm just going by what my gut gives me. Whenever I go outside, and my gut was like, yeah, you're out here, because I was going to try to go do cut down some tree limbs today and brush around the fence line. Like I need to get caught up, but I went out there and it was about 3 minutes in. I just kind of got the shed open, was kind of looking at the tools and looking at the area I was going to start at. I looked back at the tools. I stood there for a half a second, looked at the sun, and I was like, nope, we're going back inside. So that was all of the extent of my outside today. It was just yucky. Yeah, I was living down in Mississippi there for a few. It was a different type of heat. 95 down there was like not bad because the humidity was not there. But yeah, 95 up here with the humidity sucks. And now the forecast looks like we've got like days and days of 90, mid 90s. So it's like no relief. What am I going to do? It's like the lawn, even though we have had some rain, I think the hotness of it hasn't, I don't know, it hasn't grown a lot. There's a bunch of the, the weird little normal, flowery type things that have kind of sprouted up much higher than the grass, but the grass itself hadn't grown a lot, so. But if I'm going to mow, I don't know. Might have to be Saturday morning before the heat sets in. Every day there's been heat advisories. So I'm ready for winter already. I almost wish winter never ends. Need to find that perfect spot where, your average summer heat, you might, let's just call a high of 85 on the average. You might get some 90s, but on average you're 85. Which would probably mean my lows would be more in the winter time, more in the single digits, but we do get a lot of single digits here, and I'm alright with that for the most part. Then I think I would be happy. Wife wouldn't be happy though. She hates the cold, she hates the heat, but she'd probably like my cave idea, where it's constant temperatures, it's never too humid. It's humidity just kills her being on oxygen, so she'd probably like to live in a cave. I wonder if there's any places you can actually buy cave room and move in and live in a cave. As long as it's a good cave, sturdy cave. I wouldn't want a dirt cave. Nice, purposely built one, I talked about a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, we got down here in Kansas City, these, I don't even know what they call it now, some type of international, blah, 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 blah. A lot more security than back in the 80s. But then I don't even know. There was a lot of businesses down there. I actually worked down there after I graduated for a little bit. It was a packing business. But they had a bunch of different businesses. But in high school, we used to go down there. There was a pizza shop down in there. I guess to help supply, the people that worked in there could go there and get something to eat. So, but yeah, we used to kind of go down there and hang out and play pool and eat pizza. It was a fun little place. Then they started, it was, I don't know, I think it was maybe the mid-90s. They changed it up and it became more, they had some bigger businesses in there and they started putting in security. They kind of changed up the name to sound more, like I said, it's an international, I think, or something in there, or something like that. It definitely sounds more. Because I think before it was just the Midwest, something or other. I can't remember even now. Oh, well, we used to be able to just drive down in there. Now they got all kinds of security guards and gates and stuff you have to go through, so I wouldn't even attempt to try to go see if I could even get down in there anymore, I'm sure. It was shortly after I stopped working down there is when the gates and guards started coming in. Well, actually, because it was like several different cave complexes, the entrance to different shafts or whatever you want to call them. And when I worked there, I think it was the fifth one was where the pizza place was. When I worked there, I was in the third one. And there was a security right at the beginning of the shaft to get into that one. But the other one that I went into, that fifth one for the pizza joint, it didn't, so. But yeah, I think I would enjoy living in a cave like that in a way. I still want to come out, don't get me wrong there, but the environment inside would be sweet. Ooh, I about dropped a bunch of those. That would have been a bummers. So, yeah, we're getting close. Getting this thing done. So hoping to get a little more time in it earlier today. I think, no, what did I get? I think I got about 2 hours total in. I got 20 minutes in at one point, came back with about 40 minutes, and another half an hour a little bit later. I got three different runs with some decent time at those times. So then I was doing some. I needed to get my hard drives cleaned up on my computer. I've got all the video, everything like I said that we do on a stream. I've got on video on my system too, so I've got a lot of space taken up on that. But I was more cleaning up the video from band stuff for the year, getting it all moved over to external hard drives. Clean it up, get it ready for my hard drive, ready for next year's band stuff. As long as the gas prices come back down. So like they need to hurry up because, you know, at least the 2 events that I do have coming are close, so that's not going to bug me too much, but some of these others that I want to do are quite further away, and gas prices is going to be crazy where it's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it now. So we'll see how that plays out. But I did find another source of finding local fairs and whatnot with some that I had not necessarily hadn't heard of, but never knew when they were, or contact information to find out how to get into them. So I did find out another source of that, which was kind of nice, because there has been a few others that I want to get into, but finding out where I need to get to was always the harder part. So got some more information on that. So I do need to get that band calendar so I can coordinate some other things, so I can figure out exactly which ones I want to do, because I do want to try to hit. I'd like to hit it one a month at minimum. I don't know. It will kind of depend on what my youngest daughter, how much she might be able to help, because the wife definitely can't help as much anymore. I still haven't built these new things, my new displays that I want to build. Like I said, I had the plan, and out of all that lumber I was cutting, none of it was for that. I still need to buy what I need to do that. But I do, well, I'm going to in the next, probably within 2 weeks anyway, take apart my spinner holders that hold my earrings and some bracelets and dog tags and all that. Taking them, I have 2 that are 4-sided and 1 that's 3-sided. The 2 4-sideds I kind of made myself, but I think they're a little too much, so I'm going to take them back down to 3-sided, and it will mean some more stuff hanging, you know. I kind of like to spread everything out, but it will be more stacked of a few things, but I think it'll help on the table itself. It's kind of hard to fit them all 3 on the one table, with especially with the 4-sided ones. 3-sided ones, they fit better. Plus, they'd be easier to transport. That was the other thing that was becoming a problem with them. So I'm hoping I can fit them into the trailer. I normally carry them in the back of the van, which I still don't mind doing, but if I get them in the trailer, that would be a lot nicer. But that's going to have to be coming out. I haven't had the trailer out in a little while, so I have to pull it out and get it rearranged. I've been in it several times because I keep all my tables, and I had grid walls in there. I pulled grid walls out, I put grid walls back, I put tables back, whatever. There's always stuff going in and out of it, it seems like. Right now, though, it's a little more difficult because I still have the crate from the new CO2 laser standing up inside the garage shed thing in front of the trailer where I can't get into it right now. So that comes, crap, I guess I still have another 4 weeks to wait because it's the 18th for bulk pickup. So I'll have several things. And I've still got a little while, I guess. Might end up finding a few other things we might put out there, but oh, so yeah. Well, and I guess we won't be streaming by again before Father's Day. So I want to say happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. Coming up on Sunday. And then Sunday is also, I've already said, birthdays for all my kids, and so now my oldest's birthday is coming up, which will be on Sunday. We've had several Father's Day birthdays through the years. So her birthday's on, so yeah, 29 again. So happy birthday to her. A little early, like I said, but I had a text from my wife earlier, and she was asking me about the birthday and everything, because I guess she's having a party tomorrow for friends and stuff. And I'm like, you really want your parents to come to a party you want to have for your friends and whatnot? I don't know, that's a little weird to me, but I had almost forgot about her birthday. I knew it was coming, but it's kind of out of my mind. I had so much else going on. And I was like, oh yeah, it's on, and I forgot about Father's Day. She goes, yeah, because she's planning on coming over Sunday for Father's Day. Well, that's her birthday too. So, Sunday will probably be a little bit busy for a bit. I got a race to put on that night, so whatever happens during the day had to happen early and get all that done, and then tonight, it'll be a busy Sunday. Always seems like I'm always busy on Sunday doing something. Oh, that means I got some other things I'm going to have to take care of Saturday. Okay, yeah, already adding to the plethora of things that will need to be taken care of. So yeah, we'll come back on this next line here, and that'll be the final one for the field use, and then we're on to the sideline. I think I had 6 lines of, no, I think it was 8. Yeah, because I had 6 rows of nothing but white for the most part, other than the very edges here. And then I had 2 that actually had a little bit in there, and that's where the goal markers are, the orange. So that'll be on my way back up. Be the backup row, which we will probably get into some tonight of that row. I don't know how far we'll get into it, but we should get into a little bit of it, because we should be able to get back down, finish up the next row without a problem before stream ends tonight. And I actually did think about streaming earlier today when I was doing it, but again, I wasn't sure if I would be able to sit for at least an hour, and I guess I wouldn't have had to. Like I said, I normally just like to make sure my scheduled streams go a minimum of an hour, but I just kind of worked on it when I did, and it's like, oh well. I know the streams have been working, so, well, at least once, since it didn't Monday. And then I still need to play with that, but I doubt I'll be able to play with it before Sunday. Racing, trying to get the PS4 hooked up through it. So I'll have to put that off a week, at least trying what I want to try on that front. But it is kind of secondary. I want to make sure my streams are going better first. So if I do any kind of weirdness, I'll definitely be testing early to make sure I don't have a problem when it comes to my scheduled stream times. Which I guess I should just remind are Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Minimum of an hour. Sometimes we go a little over. I don't think there's been a few times I've gone over an hour and a half, but hour to an hour and a half is where I like to kind of end, but with so many other things going on, I do normally just end after about an hour, but I wonder what it's going to do there. We'll give a bunch of bees. Oh yeah, it's a little further behind than I was expecting it. And that didn't even do anything for him. It didn't translate my blah 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 blah. My bloggity blah blah. Blee blah. I like to look at the words that it tries to transpose sometimes. Oh, let me mark that row off. And I did have to retire my orange. My orange highlighter had to go the old, standard yeller one here. I tried getting it to go. And it was the line before last, halfway through. It's like, yeah. It's getting too hard to see. I didn't want to mistake it, so I had to retire it. And I decided to just throw it away. I know I was talking the other night. Do I want to keep it? It's been through a lot of inlays with me. And when it finally ran out today, and it kind of, in a way, ticked me off when it did. Because it was like, you would have just went a little bit further. So I threw it away. I could still grab it, but it's like, it's a freaking highlighter. Pliers, I mean, yeah, they are just freaking pliers too, so. But, No, I have to get some, okay, cool. I think I have one orange out, actually. I forgot that I'll need, about 12 orange, I think. 3, 6, 9, 12, yeah. To make my pylons. And I will have to get another, I won't need it for the stream, but I'll have to probably later tonight pull out another bag of the frost and get it cleaned up. And like I said, I probably will have to eventually do another bag of green, because I'll need 200 green just alone on the very two last lines. Kind of makes my border. Got a green here border around the sides. So. But I hope y'all are going to have a good weekend. It is Father's Day weekend. I don't know if anybody's got any major plans for this kind of weekend. I was thinking about the other day what kind of holiday we had coming up. I was like, well, next major one is 4th of July. So I'm going to be making up some scales. And I got the dog tags that are flag etched. So I'm going to have those. I'm going to do some scales that are layered scales. I've seen some people do some different types of layered scales that are kind of using the red, white, a blue, red scale and using the etching for the white. And so I'm going to do a few of those. I got a few graphics that I've been playing with. I need to get them going soon if I want to get them up and listed for sale. And I do want to say, I've had a few people here recently contact me. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. I'm not sure. With my doing PayPal payment through my website. I don't know, for some people, they're going through without a problem, because I'm getting orders without issues. But other people are contacting me saying, yeah, I'm going through checkout and it just sits there and it's not doing anything when it tries to go through PayPal. There was an update to it a while back, and I updated the PayPal thing, but I'm still getting those messages on occasion. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Like I said, I'm trying to do some testing on updating all that. So, if you go through there and you're having a problem getting anything ordered, just drop me a line if it's not going through, and I can set you up with a PayPal invoice, and you can take care of it that way and have no problems. But I know it's not happening to everybody, and it seems to be random also. It's not only happening... Oh, Lord. I was like, what in the world's going on out there? It's happened between mobile and just the desktops. I've had people that are having problems on one, and then they go through the other. I had one that was like, yeah, when I tried through the PC, it wasn't working, but when I tried my phone, it worked. But I've had it the opposite way, too. I had somebody on mobile saying, yeah, I couldn't get it to work through the mobile, so I went through my PC and then it worked. So I don't know if it's a random problem or what it is. Like I said, I put the update through everything and it should have worked, but I know I'm still having some issues with it. So like I said, if you ever coming through there and you have that issue, just drop me a line. We'll figure out a way to take care of everything for you. And to be honest with you, it's almost better that way, because normally, sometimes you get a better deal depending on what you're looking for, you know. Especially if you're buying, you know, several things, or if you're wanting to do a... I don't have a whole lot of, I don't want to call them kits. Like a set. A set. Like an earring, necklace, bracelet set. You know, I don't list a whole lot of those, but I can do them just easily. And normally, you know, when I normally have a few of those that I take with me to events as full sets to say, hey, you know, all these can be turned into sets too if you want. And then you normally get a slight discount on that too. So instead of just going through there and finding what you want and then you want to, because I've had a few people that have done that. They've gone through there and they've got earrings, necklace and bracelet all in the same color, and when I noticed the order I started looking at it going, okay, basically what they're wanting here is a set. So I'd contact them and let them know and make sure, you know, what I'm reading is what they're actually wanting, and they're like, yeah, a set. And it's like, yeah, if you're wanting to do a set, I have no problem with that and everything, but you know, I normally make sets a little cheaper, so we worked out a little deal and I sent them back a little bit of a refund to, you know, like I said, when it comes to contacting me and working that way, and especially if you're wanting something like a set that I don't normally have on the website, trying to figure out a way to do it on the website, but I found out a way that I like it, that it's going to work right, and I don't want to have the issue of the guy there in California, the manager of that gas station, that accidentally put gas on sale for 69 cents instead of $6.99. Fired him, but I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Mistakes happen. I would say, you know, you have better software that won't let you do certain things, or you double verify, or, you know, but things happen. But I don't, you know, that's why when it comes to doing the website stuff, there's things I can do that can change that. I think I actually did have that happen once on my hacky sacks. I had the stainless not listed separately, and so I had it going at the same price as aluminum, and I was like, oh, you know, I sold it for what it was listed at, but I had to fix it. It was a minor fix, but because it was one of those sub-setting type things. I'd say that's the craziest thing with trying to run your own site. I'm not sure how the Etsy's do it. I've never set up an Etsy to run through Etsy, but all the little other settings you can set up as options, you know, for colors and all that. And so many backside settings, it's crazy. You got to remember how to do all that. Which, it's nice to have the options, but sometimes it can get so crazily optioned it drives me a little bonkers. Again, if I was selling other merchandise, it'd probably be great. You know, if I, you know, was reselling, you know, this or that, that would probably be perfectly fine. Got an ant on the table. Because it'd be nice where you have those weights, dimensions, and stuff like that. And it's good to have it for the chainmail, too. But then there's just, you know, all the SKU numbers and stuff that come off the company things. And like I said, it would be nice if I was doing like a reseller of stuff, but personal stuff, some of these are a little more daunting and have more stuff that I don't want. And then the options I do want, I can't figure out how to do. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to set up the scales so you can order 10 scales, varying graphics between them. You don't have to have 10 of only one, but so that means you gotta pick the scale. So you want to set of 10 large scales. You want to have 5 different graphics, so you got 5 pairs. So then you got to be able to pick what colors you want on those pairs and what graphic you want on each one of those sets. Or if you just want a single because you were doing extra large scales to make pendants or whatnot. So trying to figure out all those settings has been just insane for me. I'm not, I learn everything I know about everything when it comes to computers. I'm self-taught at. My English sucks. But, so, trying to still get all that kind of stuff going, but figuring it out. Once I figured it out, though, it's the same thing with graphics programs sometimes. Things that I'm always struggling with figuring out. After a while, it just finally clicked, and you're like, oh, okay. And so nowadays, it's like, you don't have to think about it. I've done certain things a certain way. I know how to click, it's done type thing. Other things, I can spend 2 hours on 5,000 clicks and it made no progress. Oh, so where we at? Oh yeah, sweet. We're only at half an hour in, so we'll definitely get down this line. Start working up a bunch of profs coming up the other way. Well, the orange, I gotta remember to put in my pylons. Follow the chart and I'll be fine. Follow the chart. So I spent all the time making up the chart before I started. It saves time for sure. Like I said, I've done a few. The first few inlays I didn't use any type of thing. It was just a picture and just kind of went with it. It worked, but was insanely crazy. Took forever long. I learned from it though. And then the second one, even though I did it the same way, I'd learned from the first, so that kind of helped. And then after that, I started learning about the IGP programs and played around with them. Did a few others, small. That's when I did the Punisher and a West Virginia one. And then that's when I started talking with David, and David started kind of showing me little tricks and telling me things to go read and look at, and from there it took off, and it was like, okay. Still a lot of prep work, like I said. I could sometimes spend a couple days sometimes just working up the graphics just right to be able to work it into what I want it to be. Because sometimes I'll get to the final version of where I basically have a picture of, like I showed of this piece or any of my pieces, a picture of it, and you kind of see the chainmail pattern in it. And sometimes it just doesn't look right, so I have to go back and I basically go back to scratch with the main graphic and start back over, reworking it. The other part is getting the right stretch you want, depending on which ring size you're using in your AR. That'll change up, how it's going to hang. If you do a 6-in-1 compared to a 4-in-1. I normally do a lot of 4-in-1. 6-in-1's nice. There's the trade-offs. 6-in-1 to me isn't as sturdy because the way 6-in-1 kind of wants to slide between itself. But if you get it nice and tight enough, you can get a little more detail into it. But again, your stress points are going to be kind of spread out and a lot differently than just 4-in-1. 4-in-1, normally every ring has about the same amount of pressure on it, the way it will hang and everything. So I kind of prefer to do that. But that's myself, I did one 6-in-1, well, actually a few 6-in-1 music staff inlays. But I prefer the 4-in-1. One, it's quicker, so it can be a little cheaper. And if you like I said, you use square rings instead of round rings, that closes it up a little bit. You have to change your dimensions on your graphic when you're playing with it that way. And then I showed a couple days ago, maybe it was yesterday. No. Oh yeah, it was yesterday during the day stream that I did. Pulled out the 3/16 16 gauge piece that I did. It's real tight. It has hardly any movement one way and very little movement the other way. It's neat, it's nice. Problem I have with that, you make sure every line's done, because you can't come, like if I had a screw up somewhere up in here, I could come in and pull that ring out and fix it. It's loose enough that I can do that. That other piece with those rings, there's no room. You can't. There's no pulling that ring out, and there's no putting another ring in there. So you do have to watch it, be a little more careful with it, but it does make a nice tight piece, you know. I do like the way 16 gauge 1/4 inch though hangs in both round and square. This whole, all my chief pieces will be round, other than my jersey. My jersey I did do at a square, but I figured for time purposes and cost purposes I was going to go round for all these pieces, since there's going to be I don't know, I think we kind of tried to figure it up one night. I should have wrote it down how many rings it'll be kind of when it's all said and done. But I mean, this is 20,000. I'll have another one that's 20,000. Then I'm going to have 5 pieces that have 12,000, and a top piece unknown, and then a bunch of filler. So I'm not quite sure exactly what all of it entails yet. How many that will totally be. At one point in time, in a few years, at this rate, we will find that out. Alright, so we're on to the last little bits here of the yard markers. Need the goal line first. Did you open the door? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go shut that. I can already feel the heat building. And you're on my chair too. You open the door and then get on the chair. I can feel the sudden heat billowing. It was like when I was outside earlier. I stood out there. I was just standing outside, kind of looking around, seeing what was up again, and I didn't hear him open the door behind me, but I was only about 1.5 feet away from the door, but all of a sudden my leg got cold. It's like, what? Oh, I turned around, the door's open, he pulled it open, so all the cold air was rushing out of the door, hitting me. It's like, no. This was the opposite, other than that the door was on the other side of the room, so now the whole room, as I walked over to the door, got warmer and warmer. So now the whole room's going to be warm and sticky. I knew I should have latched it all the way before I started the stream. Figured though he'd been outside long enough earlier, he would just kind of camp out inside. He's old and he's an old part, so he just goes out there and lays down anyway most time. So he did, what was it, about 3 weeks ago, I guess he came, brought me another mouse, caught him a mouse. He doesn't catch a whole lot of things anymore, but he's proud of his little mouse catch. He would not let me have it, and oh man, I was trying to scruff him to get him to drop it, and he was just purring up a storm like, I am so happy I caught me a mouse. And took me a good 2 minutes probably, of him just purring up a storm and not wanting to drop this thing. But he had a good hold of it, but a nice hold where he wasn't killing it. So as soon as he dropped it, the mouse started hopping around, and he wanted to start hopping after it. So I had to grab him and bring him inside and make him stop. And it was about 3 weeks before that he had another one that he brought in dead. In a way, I mean, I guess we don't have a mouse problem at the house, but, still. I don't want him out there killing things. Y'all need to get along. I want to go out there and see the mouse and him laying out on the concrete sunbathing. Bird stopping in saying, hey. That's what I'd rather see. Move on down here. Hopefully I'm not getting my hat in here. I am wearing my hat today. I need a freaking haircut so bad. I don't want to wear a hat because it's so hot. But if I don't wear the hat, the hair gets down in my face. And I don't have any good rubber bands for hair bands. My wife has some, but they're real thick for doing like big giant ponytails. My hair's a lot thinner. I need some of the smaller rubber bands. Some that I used to use back when I did have long hair. And we don't have any of those, so because I'm definitely ready to have this hat off. Most time I like it. If I'm going outside, I probably still do, just because it helps with the sweat, plus the sun, but inside it helps with the hair. But it's too hot. I haven't gotten to the point yet, but it's gotten pretty close where I'll be shirtless down here, and I know the daughter hates that. She'll come down to take out trash or do litter or something. I'll be down here without my shirt on because it's just too darn hot. Oh, I'm like, sorry. Sorry you have to see your old man shirtless. It's like, just be glad, because there have been some days when it's gotten so hot down here when I've got a lot of laser work going on, so I've got a lot of extraction going on, not enough cooling coming in, that it is like, I almost want to go shortsless, but I don't. But there have been days where it's like, I just want to take everything off. Even though we're getting hot, we haven't quite hit that point yet, but I don't think last year was nearly as bad. Last year I ended up putting in a Gable exhaust fan up in the attic that goes off at a certain temperature and helps get the hot air out of the attic. And I think that's actually helped keep. Now the cost has been offsetting. The air conditioner hasn't really run as much because of that. So we save, but that thing runs a lot of the time because, it's up there. I think I have it set on around 95-ish or so. 90 to 95 where it automatically kicks on. And then it'll just constantly run. So it's constantly normally running right now. So it kind of, cost difference hadn't been that much difference. I was hoping it was going to help with the cost. But I do think it's helped actually, even though the cost is the same, the house feels cooler, if that makes any sense. At least to me. In a way, I think the wife too, because there have been some nights, where, she's gotten cold and she's got a blanket on. And I'm like, at night it's 85 still outside or something, and she's sitting in her chair with her blanket on. But she does have her like I said, her health issues. Some of that will cause some of that, so that is part of it. But it still it kind of cracks me up sometimes. That's why, I think that's why she'd like cave living. Because if we had to move for the normal outside, we'd be up like in mid-Canada, maybe Alaska, where I'd enjoy it more. She would probably not for sure like it. She would probably find the south a little bit better with the heat, but it's the dry heat, So she could probably deal with that breathing better that way. So that's why we compromise, and we could become the Flintstones and live in caves. Meet the Flintstones, we live in a cave, yay. Well, they didn't live in a cave, but close enough. I wouldn't mind some like little apartments in the caves. Would be kind of neat. Energy costs would definitely be a lot less. Like I said, when we were down there, it kept a good constant temperature by itself for the most part. We had a few fans because some of our scenery was a little warm for the printers and stuff when we had to print the packaging, but for the most part, it was always just nice down in there. Alright, so that row, let me go ahead and continue. No, let me double check here. Since we are finished with that one. That was row 192. So we're now working on the 193. And let me double check my picture here. Okay, so yeah, it's all white to start with. Up until there. So, okay. I just want to double check, make sure here. So this kind of, there'll be a little bit of a white that's not the border of the green here. And I did that on purpose. It's like that on the top side too. So, but yeah, this will be all wide up to the goal line. Then we got to grab some of our orange to get our pylons in there. So yeah, we'll definitely start seeing it coming together and be done. I'll be happy when it is done. Where are we at here? 45 minutes? Sweet. We'll be able to actually kind of work up probably and get into the pylon there. Maybe a little bit more. I'm not in a super hurry tonight per se. And I do want to go let my kitty cat out because she went to the doctor yesterday because she's going to have a tooth pulled. So she had to get some blood work done. And she came home and she didn't eat much when she got home, which was kind of surprising because they didn't do anything to her. They just gave her a checkout, and but maybe they irritated her or something. But she was not in the mood. She didn't want to get on the bed last night with me. I got on the floor with her, and I was like making sure she's okay, and she'd start purring and stuff. But this morning she kind of got more into herself. I didn't ask, and I don't think they did. I think they would have said something if they would have gave her any type of maybe a slight sedative, so they could give her a full. It was a new vet, so they wanted to give her a full checkout, And I don't think they gave her anything, but they might have given her something. I don't know what it was, but she just was not in the happy mood last night. But she seemed better today, so I'm definitely wanting to get her out and let her have more roaming time tonight. But I definitely missed her last night, not getting up and sitting with me. That was very weird. I was sitting there and I wasn't sure how to get to sleep myself. I was like, well, I'll just let her be, but I couldn't. I had to get up, and I crawled down on the floor with her and gave her time. She kind of she walled around, gave some loving, and she seemed fine, but she just didn't want to kind of be up on the bed. Till this morning, then she was kind of, like I said, acting more normal, running around, because she normally just starts meowing like crazy, running around, chasing you basically. Wherever you're at in the bedroom, she'll be step for step with you. I need to make her I want to make her some things where she can crawl around and have some things on the wall that she could climb up and get into, and paths, so she doesn't feel so enclosed in her little jail. I feel sorry for her, but I mean, I let her out and she gets plenty of attention, but just this cats just will not get along. I had her out one day, and actually one of the other cats was out. I did close one of them up. I thought they were both up. I don't think either of them realized that the other was out during their time, because it was about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours of time. Because when I did go up there, they were both sleeping. Cuteness woke up as I was coming up and kind of stood up and stretching, going, okay, you're up, what am I doing? I was like, what are you doing out? But then Marvel was doing her own little thing, sleeping in her room, so I'm like, well, we'll just kind of close things up here and call it good. But Gizzy, on the other hand, I don't know what it is about those two. They used to get along really well. And then there was one day, I don't know what it was, something happened, and they both Gizzy turned on Marvel, and Marvel didn't know what to do and was afraid to defend herself. And so Marvel will defend herself against these giant ass dogs outside. But the little bitty kitty cat inside, she just runs off and hides and gets all scared. I'm like, you are such a weirdo cat. Trying to get them together. They had more time and maybe a better plan. I don't know. Maybe they could get back to being friends, but because they were for years. Like I said, it was just one day, and once her sister, that's Gizzy and Cuteness, they're sisters, same litter. They've always been together. So when one of them gets in a fight with anything, the other one is there to help defend her, no matter even if they're in the wrong. I mean, that's just what they do. Even when they fight amongst themselves at times. But, when another fight happens between one of them, they're there to defend each other, no problem. It used to be all the girls would pick on Buzz that way. Buzz was up there, and one of the girls would go off on Buzz, the rest of the girls would gang up on Buzz, you know. That's when Marble and those two would be friends for some reason. But then Buzz wasn't up there, and then it just became all the girls, and they ganged up on her. Shug, even though Shug had no front claws and was old, she would still hiss and bat. She was always a hisser. She was a very vocal hisser, and she just put the others in their place, and they left her alone. They were like, "Yep, you're the queen," and she kind of knew it. She was the queen up there. He's like, "You can try to mess with me, but I'm going to yell at you, and I'm going to hit you with my pads." And she had no claws, but alright, I need that orange now. Where'd the orange go here? That's 18 gauge. I need 16 gauge. So, yeah, we'll need 3 to start with here, so let's get 3 out for now. We'll get another 3 out up there. We get to the other end. So, now we can know if our people are in bounds or not with our goal post here. Not goal post, or goal line. I've said the name 100 times, and now it's for some reason blanking my brain. You know what I mean, though. The pylons. Yeah, there we go. Duh. The pylons are now to play on this side of the field. You're good to go for touchdowns. Get up there. So where do we get? Oh, we still got about 10 minutes minimum, so actually making some pretty good progress here tonight and today. Actually, a couple last days. I've gotten a lot more in the last couple days than I had in the last month. Easy. But I will say earlier today, while I was doing some stuff, I did put on, I'm still trying to find the video. I want to get all the playoff games for the last several years and the Super Bowls. The only one I currently have is the Super Bowl win we had, and I ended up watching it today. It's got all the commercials cut out of it. It's not like super fast like the 30-minute games that NFL Network would do, but all the commercials are cut out. There's a little bit here and there when there's a replays. It goes through the replay, shows you those. I think by the time it was, I think it's only about an hour and 20 minutes long, maybe even a little bit less. But I had it on and was doing stuff earlier today, and kick back, watch some plays here and there, going, I missed my football. But we're getting close. We're getting close to it. Getting close to having the season back again. Hopefully we have a good season. We'll still be rooting for my Chiefies. Oh yeah, definitely can feel the heat. Come on, air conditioner, hurry up. Probably need to turn back on my little fan. I actually have this little bitty square fan, battery operated. They call it. It can be used for camping. It's got a little hanger on it, but it can sit flat and tilt. But inside's got two blades on it, a front and a back blade, and that thing pushes some air, man. I love that little thing. I use it, but I almost don't want to use it because I don't want to wear it out. But it's a nice little fan. It's got 4 speeds too, which is odd for a fan. Most fans are 3-speed. It pushes some good air. I mean, it actually pushes better air than my like 16-inch oscillating fan. It actually pushes better air than that thing. If this thing oscillated, it'd be awesome. Wasn't cheapish, but I would like to get a couple more because, you know, I don't know how long the battery will last right now, but I tested it on the fan setting of 3, and I was up to about 13 hours, and it was still going. And I didn't realize at the time, because when I did another test with just a light in a fan, because it has a light on it also, I noticed on that, when I was running that test, it actually gets to a point where it starts blinking on the power setting to let you know the battery's getting lower. And when I did the other test, it got down to the final power setting, but it wasn't blinking yet, so it had more to go. And I mean, it can be powered from the USB too, so I got it sitting over on my portable desk that I use to roll around between the lasers. I can point it around the room and it helps. And though I forgot I unplugged it yesterday, turned the power on, drained all the battery out. Well, actually, I guess I unplugged it the day before yesterday. I only had it on a 2 power setting, so it probably made it a day and a half before it started realizing today that it finally went dead. So, what line is this again? We are working on line 193. I better mark it because I stopped at the end. We started all there at 28, right? Yeah, okay. My quick marks here. So, doing pretty good here. I do want to go ahead also, and I want to put in, don't forget to check out Mailworks. Sean over at Mailworks, he does a live stream several nights a week too. Go check out his stuff, give his stuff a like. He's a good guy. His business is printed, styled shirts and stuff of chainmail, but his chainmail or his streams are all chainmail related. He's a chainmailer at heart, so go over there, check out Mailworks, get that entered there. There we go. So don't forget to check that out. I do want to thank everybody who's joined us. Like I said, either dropping in throughout the stream live, or if you're watching this later, I do appreciate it. If it wasn't for having people dropping in on occasion, you know, it'd be hard to kind of probably keep doing this. Other than I want to keep hearing myself talk, and I hate doing that. Well, I talk to myself often, but that's all right. But I do thank you all anyway. It is Thursday night, so it'll be the last stream of the week, so I hope you all have a good weekend. Don't forget to get likes, shares, all that good stuff, like I always say. The hearts, thumbs ups, any of those kind of help us get into more people's walls that follow us, so the more the merrier. I do want to start trying to get more people in here so we can start doing some more giveaways. I made a flea out in a video a while back trying to get some people to come in and give away some free tumblers, other than I was just going to say, give me $4 for shipping, you know, type thing. We'll design up something and get it to you. No takers? Okay, well. Like I said, you might be surprised. The more people we get here, the more we can do. So, I do appreciate anybody that does. Like I said, I always appreciate that. Look around on our pages, Facebook pages, this weekend. I hope to have this done and have some pictures posted sometime Saturday, maybe Sunday. We'll do a recap of it next Thursday. But I do hope to have some pictures up here this weekend, so check that out. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great weekend. We're going to go ahead and get closed up here, so you all have a most wonderful weekend. We will check you all back out on Monday for sure. But like I said, check us out over the weekend and catch what's going on. So have a great one. Peace.